What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Jordy here, and it's been a crazy week around here, but not too crazy to take 3 minutes and talk about an age-old approach to getting stuff done, the barter system. In case you don't already know, the barter system is when you take your services, your skills, or your goods, and you trade those things for someone else's services, skills, or goods. And as we try to figure out time-saving and budget-friendly ways to get things done in our churches, I can't think of a better approach to do so. So I want to give you some real-world examples of what this could look like. Maybe you need some sermon series graphics, but you're not great with design, you don't have Photoshop, but you're great with video. You have a decent DSLR, and you know a guy who's pretty good with design, but maybe his church needs someone to shoot their baptism testimony videos or an original song that they want filmed. Either way, you could take your thing and trade it for their thing and get what you need, and they benefit too. Another example, and this is one I see in my hometown all the time, maybe your Sunday night service is drummerless and all your volunteers in your church can't do it, but you need a drummer for that Sunday night college service that you're doing. But you know that your buddy across town who leads worship at a different church on Sunday morning can play drums. Well, maybe offer yourself to him for services that he needs fill-ins on, and there's your drummer for your college service. This is one of my favorite examples. Maybe audio at your church has been a real struggle for months, maybe even years. But as a church, you don't have the budget to hire a consultant or someone to come in and figure out your problems and make recommendations and then buy equipment. But maybe you know somebody who's good at those things. And maybe you are really good at DIY stage designs. And maybe you could take those skills that you've developed, trade them for someone, a friend who's got killer ears for tuning a room and making PA sound great and maybe even optimizing what's already there. You guys get together and get something done. But it's important to remember that it doesn't always have to be skills and services being traded around. Maybe you have an old keyboard and you need a drum set or you need a bass rig or you need a house guitar amp for your church. Well, see if you can find someone who needs what you have and who has what you need that you can trade with. One thing there is you want to make sure that this doesn't get tricky and that you're actually following the processes that your financial team at your church has in place and the law for whatever state that you live in for those sorts of things. But maybe it's not that you need to trade services or your stuff to get something done. Maybe you're in a situation like the one I was in this week where you need to rent a really nice video camera, but you need it for 24 hours, not 7 days. Chances are you probably know someone who has great video gear, who if you have become the kind of person that they trust, you could rent their stuff from them for 24 hours and get done whatever it is you need to get done. I think there's a couple things we have to keep in mind as we start trying to use the techniques that we've talked about today. One is that you have to be the kind of person that people trust. If you want to rent equipment from someone or you want to trade merchandise or services with someone, they have to trust you. So you have to be the kind of person they can trust. Two, you want to be plugged into the community where you live. You want to know the churches around you and know the leaders at those churches, because if you don't know them, there's no way that you and them can trade services or goods. And most importantly, I think, is that you have to be developing yourself. You have to be growing as a leader and developing the kinds of skills that are attractive to other leaders, so that if you need something, you've become the kind of person that, man, if you reach out to someone else, they're like, absolutely, I can use your worship leading or your stage design work or your video work or design or whatever, but you just have to be developing yourself. Well, that's the video. Thanks again for stopping by. Get out there and do some bartering and get something done in your church this week, and I'll see you guys in the next video.